The shuttle shuddered as it pierced the toxic clouds of Karos. 9. A death world whispered about across the outer sectors. Captain Elias Kane gritted his teeth, fingers tightening on the console. Around him, the cabin hummed with restrained tension. Lieutenant Rourke leaned forward, scanning the swirling mists outside, his jaw set in a stubborn line that matched the streak of mud smeared across his cheek. Sergeant Vance sat hunched over his portable console, eyes flicking across data streams, the soft glow illuminating the pale skin beneath his short-cropped hair. Kane's voice cut through the hum. Status. Vance didn't look up. Radiation spikes within tolerable limits, but the storms are unpredictable. Gravity is fluctuating. The planet itself seems to fight us. Rourke snorted. That's Karos 9 for you. Perfect training ground if we survive the first day. His tone was light, but the tension in his shoulders betrayed the weight he felt. The shuttle pierced the storm, striking jagged rock formations with bone-rattling force. Kane's eyes narrowed on the display. Deploy in 30 seconds. Stay sharp. Remember, the elder alien is here somewhere. We're not walking into a hunting ground. We're walking into its den. Vance muttered under his breath, fingers dancing across the console. A den that kills first and questions later. They hit the ground hard. The wind sliced across the landing site, a mixture of fine dust and toxic spores that stung the eyes. Kane led, rifle cradled, boots sinking into the uneven surface. Rourke followed, knife strapped to his thigh, scanning for ambush points. Vance brought up the rear, scanning for chemical anomalies, his devices beeping intermittently. The first movement was subtle, a shadow between jagged spires of rock, twisting unnaturally with the storm. Kane signaled a halt. See it. Rourke's hand hovered over the knife hilt. Looks like no. Move closer. He stepped forward, boots crunching against brittle stone. A predatory screech split the air, echoing across the cliffs. A creature lunged from the mist, its limbs impossibly long, claws glinting. Rourke reacted instantly, driving his knife into the creature's flank. It yowled, twisting violently, and in the chaos, Vance barely had time to activate an electronet trap. Sparks flew. The creature thrashed, shrieking, before collapsing into silence. Kane's eyes scanned the horizon. First warning, there will be more. As they pressed onward, the terrain grew more treacherous. Acidic pools hissed at their approach. Crags and spires towered like the bones of some ancient leviathan. Yet in the storm, they moved as a unit. Kane assessing strategy, Rourke anticipating danger, Vance calculating environmental hazards in real time. Every human motion, small as it seemed, contradicted the deathworld's expectation that they would fall. Hours passed, the storm unrelenting. Then came the tracks, deep, wide, singular. Kane crouched, tracing the path with a gloved hand. Not animal, he murmured. Too deliberate. Too heavy. The elder. Rourke's eyes gleamed. Finally, let's see what all the legends say about him. Vance exhaled slowly. Legends don't scare me. Reality does. And reality? Reality is massive, armored, and bleeding somewhere nearby. They followed the trail cautiously, each step deliberate. The closer they drew, the more the air seemed to thrum with a tension that was almost physical, as if the planet itself warned intruders away. The trail ended at a massive crevice. Kane motioned for silence. In the shadowed depths, they glimpsed the elder alien warrior, a giant form, scarred and jagged, eyes glowing faintly in the storm. He leaned against rock, blood matted across his chest, a weapon dangling uselessly from one hand. Yet, even wounded, he radiated power, every sinew tense, every movement controlled. Rourke whispered, "You think he knows we're here?" Kane's jaw tightened. He knows. Always knows. That's why he waits. That's why we came. The elder's gaze shifted, scanning the humans with uncanny perception. A low, guttural rumble vibrated through the air. Not a threat, not yet, but an acknowledgement. Kane sensed it, a test of patience and intellect rather than brute strength. Vance adjusted his console, eyes widening as readings came in. Captain, his physiology, it's unlike anything cataloged. He's wounded, yet his vitals are accelerating. He's aware of our every move. Rourke cracked a grin despite the tension. Finally, someone who sees humans as a real problem. I was starting to think we were just another footnote in alien history. Kane's focus didn't waver. Keep your heads. Observation first. Engagement if necessary. This is what we were trained for. Adapt, improvise, survive. He may be the strongest being here, but he hasn't seen humans fight together like this. The storm intensified. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the Elder's silhouette in a jagged glow. For a moment, time seemed suspended. Alien and human, predator and prey, warrior and strategist, each sizing the other, learning, calculating. The world around them raged in violent chaos, but the humans held their ground, unbowed. A deep growl echoed from the crevice, a prelude to the coming conflict. Kane motioned forward, his rifle raised. We move. Steady. Watch each other's backs. Death world or not, humans survive. The Elder stirred, shifting his weight. His eyes locked on Kane, a silent promise and a challenge. And in that frozen moment, amidst the roar of wind and storm, the first threads of destiny began to weave themselves around the humans, the planet, and the ancient warrior who had seen centuries pass like mere hours. The terrain twisted into a labyrinth of jagged spires and molten fissures, each step threatening to betray the humans to the world itself. Kane led the way, his boots crunching over brittle rock while Rourke flanked the side, knife at the ready, eyes darting to every movement, every shadow. Vance brought up the rear, scanning the atmosphere with meticulous care, his fingers tracing lines of alien energy the others couldn't even see. Radiation spikes are increasing, Vance warned, voice tight. We'll have 30 minutes before our suits begin failing. Kane nodded without turning. We move faster. Stick to the rocks. Don't make patterns. Don't give him the rhythm. They had been tracking signs of the elder alien warrior for hours, following footprints and signs of struggle among the jagged cliffs. Every so often, they glimpsed movement, a flicker of scaled skin, a shadow bending unnaturally against the storm. Kane's instincts screamed that they were being watched. Suddenly, from the mist, a squad of alien warriors erupted. Towering, armored, and armed with jagged plasma blades, they struck with the precision of predators. Rourke reacted instantly, rolling forward, slashing his knife through one alien's leg while Kane fired in controlled bursts, each shot deliberate, targeting weak points only a human would consider. Sparks and alien ichor sprayed the rocks as the first enemy fell. Vance's fingers flew over the console, activating an improvised trap that sent a shimmering net over two attackers. Their screeches echoed across the cliffs, mingling with the roar of the storm. Keep moving, Kane shouted. They'll swarm. Rourke darted to cover, dragging a wounded alien with him. Captain, they're fast, but not thinking fast enough. We can use the terrain. Kane studied the surrounding rock formations. A jagged overhang created a natural choke point. Here, he said. Trap them. Force them into the bottleneck. Vance, give me a projection, where they'll hit first. Vance's eyes widened as he processed the data. If we can trigger the fissures here, the shockwave should collapse their advance. But timing, too early, it's wasted. Too late, we're buried with them. Rourke smirked despite the chaos. Humans improvise, Vance. Don't tell me the numbers scare you now. The first wave surged. Kane fired his rifle, each shot punctuating a rhythm that the aliens couldn't anticipate. Rourke lunged, his knife finding gaps in alien armor. Vance activated the fissure trap. A deep rumble tore through the ground, sending rock and dust tumbling as the alien squad fell into the collapsing crevices. For a moment, silence, broken only by the storm. Then a deep, resonant growl rolled across the cliffs, vibrating through the human's bones. The elder alien warrior emerged, larger than any in the squad, his chest scarred, one arm dragging uselessly behind him. His gaze found Kane calculating, almost amused. Rourke, cover the left flank. Vance, stay on tactical projections. I'll draw his attention, Kane ordered, his voice calm despite the adrenaline. The elder moved with the predator's grace despite his wound, his strides deliberate and unnerving. Each swing of his massive arm could crush bone, each step a reminder of human fragility. Yet, Kane noticed something in the elder's stance: calculation, patience, a hint of curiosity. Rourke gritted his teeth and charged, knife flashing. The elder blocked effortlessly, tossing Rourke aside like a rag doll. Kane advanced, rifle raised, firing bursts into weak points revealed by previous skirmishes. Sparks flew from the elder's armor, but he barely faltered. Vance whispered urgently, "Captain, his physiology, it's adapting. Our weapons are insufficient." Kane cursed under his breath. Improvisation was all they had left. He glanced around, spotting a fissure near the elder's path. Rourke bait him toward the fissure. The younger soldier growled, wiping blood from a cut. With pleasure. He taunted, dodging the elder's blows, luring him into position. Kane and Vance synchronized their attack, creating an unstable energy field across the fissure. With a violent surge, the ground erupted beneath the elder's feet. He roared, nearly toppling the humans, but his massive bulk shifted just enough to maintain balance. For a moment, Kane feared they had underestimated him. Yet, even wounded, the elder retreated into the mist, vanishing with the storm. Silence returned, heavy and suffocating. Rourke straightened, breathing hard. We didn't kill him." Kane's eyes were steely, scanning the horizon.
"No.
"But we survived. That's enough for now. He's testing us, learning us. And now he knows we exist." Vance lowered his console, shaking slightly. "He's not just strong, he's aware. Every step we took, he predicted. Every move calculated." Kane knelt, inspecting the path left by the elder. "Then we adapt. That's what humans do. We survive. We fight. We learn faster than anyone expects." Rourke cracked a grin despite the exhaustion. "Funny. I always thought aliens were supposed to be smarter than us. Yet here we are, still standing." Vance allowed himself a small smirk. "For now. But the next encounter, he'll be ready. And so must we." The storm raged around them, the planet itself seeming to protest their presence. Yet the humans moved forward, battered, bruised, but unbroken. Every cut, every burn, every near miss had taught them something invaluable. Unpredictability was their greatest weapon. As the shadows shifted, Kane glanced at the distant ridge. He caught a glimpse of a massive, scarred figure watching, its glowing eyes fixed on them like a predator assessing prey. The elder had not fled. He had observed, noted, and waited. Kane's voice was quiet, resolute. "He knows who we are. Now it's time he learns what humans really do." The wind carried a low rumble across the cliffs, a warning, a promise. And in that moment, amidst fire, smoke, and rain, the humans understood that survival on Keros 9 was no longer just about skill. It was about proving a truth the galaxy had long underestimated. Humans fight in ways no one predicts, and even legends must reckon with them. The air in the cavern was thick with the acrid scent of ionized metal and blood. Kane, Rourke, and Vance had been led here under guard, each step echoing against jagged walls. Their weapons remained holstered, but their senses were alert, every shadow, every sound, a potential threat. Across the chamber, the elder alien warrior leaned against a massive stone spire, his breathing uneven, chest rising and falling with measured effort. His armor was dented, scarred from battles decades old, yet his eyes glowed with a calculating light that unsettled even the seasoned soldiers. "You have survived longer than expected," the elder rumbled, voice low but resonant, vibrating through the chamber. "Few humans last more than one encounter. You all persist." Kane held his gaze steady. "Persistence is what defines us. We adapt, we endure, and we learn faster than anyone expects." The elder's gaze lingered on Rourke, who shifted restlessly. impulsive, reckless, yet defective. His words were measured, almost curious. And the leader, precise, calculating. Not a warrior by instinct alone. A strategist. Interesting. Vance, arms folded, muttered. You've catalogued us already. Predictable alien arrogance. A low rumble of amusement emanated from the elder. Predictable? Perhaps to others. Not to me. I have watched species rise and fall across centuries. I have fought in wars where victories were decided by strength alone. Yet humans are anomalies. Kane stepped forward. Anomalies how? Explain. You claim to know us better than we know ourselves. The elder moved closer, each step deliberate. You fight with creativity, unpredictability, and tenacity that surpasses your apparent physical limits. You survive situations that would obliterate even my kind. You see patterns where there are none, turn disadvantages into advantages. Emotion fuels you, yet it does not enslave you. It guides your choices. Rourke scoffed, though unease crept into his tone. That's flattering. But you still hold the upper hand. You're huge, armed, and deadly. Don't sugarcoat it. The elder tilted his massive head. Strength alone has never carried humans. You defy expectation. You manipulate circumstance. You endure pain not as a limit but as a tool. Where I would predict failure, you find opportunity. That is what terrifies my people. That is why you are underestimated at every turn. Vance's brow furrowed. So, all this our struggle, the fights, the chaos, it's a test in your eyes? Are we merely examples? The elder's eyes softened slightly. Not examples. Warnings. You are what the galaxy will struggle to understand. Your species evolves not just in form, but in method. You are designed for resilience. You are adaptable beyond what my archives suggest is possible. You survive not by the strength of your arms, but by the cunning of your minds and the unity of your kind. Kane's jaw tightened. We don't wait for design. We survive because we must, because it is what humans do. We are not perfect. We are not invincible, but we endure. Always. The elder studied him, leaning heavily on the spire. Endurance, yes. It is your greatest weapon and your greatest mystery. For centuries, I believed my people supreme, that no species could match us in strategy or strength. I was wrong. Humans, you are the exception. Rourke's voice was sharp. And you? What do you want from us? Recognition? Prophecy? Or just a closer look at what humans can do before you finally? The elder cut him off, voice cold. Before I die, I will tell you who you truly are. Not in the way your leaders tell stories. Not in the way historians write you. I will tell you what the galaxy refuses to acknowledge. You are a force of adaptation. You are unpredictable. You survive where others perish. You are not merely another species to conquer. You are a variable no plan can fully account for. Vance shook his head in disbelief. So all the wars, all the chaos, it's because of us? Not the aliens. The elder exhaled slowly. Your survival confounds and challenges civilizations far older than yours. You are underestimated, dismissed, written off. Yet each time, you emerge, reshaped by struggle, more cunning, more relentless. My people, my kind, we did not account for this. None of the galaxy has. Kane stepped closer, voice low, steady. Then know this. Underestimate humans at your own peril. We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. But we endure. We adapt. And when we strike in ways you cannot predict. A silence followed, punctuated only by the drip of water in the cavern and the distant hum of alien machinery. The elder's gaze lingered on them, almost reverent. Perhaps that is why you survive. Perhaps that is why you endure against impossible odds. And perhaps that is why your kind will continue to shape the galaxy in ways even I cannot foresee. Rourke's lips curled into a bitter grin. So, what now? You're impressed, philosophical, but you still plan to kill us, right? The elder shook his massive head. No, not yet. You will leave here with knowledge of what humans truly are. And in time, the galaxy will realize it as well. Consider this a warning and a gift." Vance finally allowed a small smirk. "A gift? From a giant alien who wanted to crush us." Kane's eyes didn't leave the elder. "Then we accept it. But we are not waiting for acknowledgement. We will survive regardless. And the next time we meet, we will be ready." The elder's breathing slowed. His chest rose and fell with effort, each exhale a reminder of mortality. "Remember this, you are not weak. You are not merely clever. You are human. And humans are relentless." The cavern seemed to shift, shadows lengthening as if acknowledging the truth in his words. Kane, Rourke, and Vance exchanged glances, scarred, tired, yet unbroken. The storm outside raged on, the planet indifferent, but they carried within them the understanding that the Elder's revelation was both warning and prophecy. And as the Elder retreated into the misted depths of the chamber, leaving them with his words, the humans understood something fundamental. Survival was no longer just instinct. It was identity. It was what made them dangerous. It was what made them human. The storm outside battered the cliffs with renewed fury, but Kane, Rourke, and Vance moved with a purpose that matched the chaos. Every footfall was measured, every breath synchronized with the gusts and the distant rumbles of alien machinery. The elder alien warriors' words still echoed in their minds, a haunting acknowledgement of human unpredictability. Now it was time to prove it. "Check your paths," Kane instructed, voice low and steady. "We leave together or not at all. Keep your senses sharp. He may be watching, but we set the terms." Rourke cracked his knuckles, a grin twisting his bloodied face. Setting the terms is what humans do best. They crept along narrow ledges, the cavern opening into a network of jagged spires and molten fissures. Vance's eyes scanned the environment, pulling data from every crack and shadow. "The Elder left traps," he muttered. "Energy grids, pressure sensors, but there are gaps. We exploit them. Carefully." Kane nodded. "We improvise. That's the advantage humans always have. Watch the rhythm. Move when the storm conceals us." The first trap hummed to life, a pulse of energy streaking across the floor. Rourke leapt, twisting midair to land beyond the grid. Kane followed, rolling to minimize exposure, while Vance ducked behind a jagged spire, recalibrating his portable device to dampen the next pulse. They pressed forward, each obstacle sharpening their focus. The fissures and molten pools became weapons as well as hazards. Kane deliberately led the pursuit toward unstable ground. Rocks rumbled beneath the Elder's massive steps, fissures expanding to funnel him into positions where human strategy mattered more than brute strength. The Elder emerged from the mist, massive and scarred, his remaining arms swinging with terrifying precision. "Humans," he growled, voice echoing off stone, "you persist. You endure. You adapt." Kane didn't respond with words. He raised his rifle, firing controlled bursts to distract, forcing the Elder to shift weight awkwardly. Rourke darted forward, using the Elder's momentary imbalance to trigger a collapse above a narrow chasm. Rocks tumbled, forcing the giant alien to step aside, narrowly avoiding a deadly fall. Vance activated a device that emitted a low-frequency pulse, destabilizing the alien's armor plates. Sparks flew, and the Elder staggered, irritation and calculation flashing across his glowing eyes. Kane's voice cut through the storm, precise and commanding. "Now, toward the ridge. Move." They ran, leaping across fractured rock and molten streams. The Elder recovered quickly, but every human action had forced him to adjust, to react unpredictably to the environment he once controlled. Kane realized, with a surge of grim satisfaction, that they had learned exactly what the Elder had taught them. Humans thrive in chaos because chaos is a tool, not a threat. As they neared the outer cliffs, Kane motioned to a narrow ledge overlooking the alien stronghold. Vance set charges along the path behind them, creating a barrier of collapsing rock and energy discharge to slow pursuit. Rourke glanced back, smirking. "This is going to sting." The Elder stopped, massive forms silhouetted against a storm, one arm dragging uselessly, the other braced. "Humans," he rumbled, voice carrying over the wind. "You have endured, as I predicted. You survive because your species refuses limits. You are extraordinary." Kane's boots dug into the edge of the cliff, breath ragged but steady. "We are human. That's all you need to know. And what you see now is just the beginning." Rourke laughed, hoarse and triumphant. "We'll make sure the next species underestimates us the same way. Won't we, Captain?" Kane allowed a brief smile. "Always." But the Elder was right about one thing. The galaxy hasn't seen what humans truly can do. That ends now. Vance adjusted his console, scanning the horizon. Energy fluctuations, the Elder's remaining forces won't pursue far. We've gained the advantage. From the mist, the Elder spoke again, quieter this time, almost reverent. "Before I die, oh, remember this. You are not weak. You are unpredictable. You are resilient. And that is what makes you human. Your survival is not accidental. It is inevitable if you persist." A flash of lightning illuminated the battlefield below. Kane, Rourke, and Vance took the ridge, overlooking the shattered remnants of the alien stronghold. The storm raged, smoke and dust curling into the sky, yet the humans stood unbroken. They were bruised, scarred, and weary, but they carried something far stronger than weapons: experience, ingenuity, and the knowledge that survival was woven into their very nature. Rourke wiped sweat and grime from his brow, voice quiet now. "He was telling the truth, and we just proved it." Kane's gaze swept the horizon, resolute. "We survived not because of luck or technology, but because we are human. And humans always adapt." Vance let out a long breath, almost a laugh. "The Elder's prophecy, we lived it. And we'll carry it forward. The galaxy doesn't know what's coming." As the storm began to subside, the humans stood together, a trio of resolve against a planet that sought to break them. The Elder alien warrior remained behind, a legend in his own right, but defeated not by force alone, by the relentless, unpredictable ingenuity of humans. And in that moment, the harsh cliffs and molten rivers of Keros, 9 seemed less like a tomb and more like a proving ground. Humanity had endured. Humanity had adapted. And the galaxy would have to reckon with them, one unpredictable, relentless step at a time.